Welcome back to the breakdown. Today I'm going to be going over a $1,000 all AMD gaming PC. So many people have asked me in the past to do all AMD builds, and I just for some reason haven't done them. So here is an all AMD gaming PC. I'm going to give you all of the parts, all of the stuff that you'll need to be 100% AMD on your PC. But first, please do check out all of the links to all of the parts I mentioned in this video in the description down below on Amazon. If you go down there and buy through those links, we do get a little commission at no cost to you, so thank you very, very much for doing that. Nevertheless, let's just go ahead and jump right on into this. First and foremost, we have our processor, which, as you can tell, obviously is going to be AMD, and it is a Ryzen 5 2600X. This is a competent processor that will allow us to play any and all modern games without any issues whatsoever. We're also going to be using the stock heatsink with this. The one that comes with our Ryzen 5 is going to be perfect because it's just AMD's got really good coolers now. That's just basically that. AMD has really good coolers, and we're going to be using that really good cooler with this CPU. That's that. What about our motherboard, though? For our motherboard, we're going to be going with an MSI B450-A Pro ATX Full-ATX motherboard. This is going to have plenty of expansion for PCI and PCIe cards. It supports up to 64 gigabytes of RAM, giving you tons of RAM upgrade options in the future. And let's say you wanted to make a jump to a Ryzen 7 or something, you could do that with this motherboard. So this is a great, solid motherboard. You've got to have a good motherboard in your system, and this is a great one. And it's pretty affordable as well, coming in at less than $90 at the time I'm recording this video. So yeah, overall, just a great motherboard and a great base for this system. Now, we mentioned this motherboard could support 64 gigabytes of RAM, but how much RAM are we actually putting in this system? Well, we're going to be doing two 8 gigabyte sticks of Team Vulcan DDR4 3000 megahertz RAM. This is going to be great RAM and very competent RAM for what we're looking to do with this system, which is be able to game any and all games 1080p max settings, and this RAM will allow us to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much why I went with it, and the speed 3000 megahertz is pretty good these days. It's not the top of the line, but it's not the bottom of the barrel either, so it's right there in the middle, and that will work great. Games don't even use too much RAM anyway, so this will be plenty. Now that's our RAM, but what about our hard storage? Well, for this system, I'm just putting in a 1 terabyte Western Digital Caviar Blue HDD. Now I can already hear you blowing up in the comment section, put in an SSD! Yes, but this is a gaming rig, and honestly, you don't have to have an SSD, and it's very easy to upgrade and add one in later. So what I'm telling you is if you can spend another $70 on this build, I have a great 500 gigabyte SSD linked in the description down below. I would recommend getting that. But if you are capped under $1,000, then you can go with just this HDD, and it will work perfectly for you until you can upgrade and buy an SSD, right? So that is where I would start upgrading this system. Honestly, it shouldn't need any upgrading other than the fact of adding in an SSD is recommended, and there is one linked in the description down below if you want to swing it when you're building the system, but it's not a must-have. So that's why we went with this 1 terabyte Western Digital hard drive just to get us started here. It'll have plenty of space for our games, and our computer will just be a bit slower than it would be with an SSD, and it'll still be able to do everything we want it to do. So that's great stuff. Now from there, we need our graphics card. And as you can imagine, it's an all AMD build, so it's going to be an AMD graphics card. Specifically an AMD Radeon RX Vega 56 8 gigabyte GPU. This thing is going to slay any and all modern games at 1080p 60 FPS. Whether we're talking about Battlefield, whether we're talking about Fortnite, whether we're talking about whatever game you want to do, from Minecraft to the new Battlefield to anything in between, this will be able to run it at 1080p max settings because it is a competent graphics card and just really a really good graphics card for this system. The reason it's a really good graphics card is partly because of the bottleneck. And the bottleneck on this system is just 3.5%. It's actually just under 3.5% bottleneck for an incredible gaming machine like this. And honestly, that's really, really good simply because big places like that try to get it under like 12%. So the fact we're at 3% is just insane. So absolutely awesome stuff there for that GPU-CPU combo. And we're about to close out the build. We just need a case and a power supply. For our case, case, we're going with a Corsair Spec 02 ATX mid-tower case. This is going to be a competent case with good cooling for this system, and it'll just get the job done. It's not going to be the best PC case you've ever seen, but for less than $35, you are going to be able to get a great case with good cable management and pretty good cooling for what we're looking to do. So overall, great case there. If you don't like it and you want a different case, you can check out the eye at the top of your screen up there for my list of the top 5 PC cases under $50. Any of those will work for this build. Now, what about our power supply? Well, for this, we're going with an EVGA BQ 500 watt 80 plus bronze certified power supply. This is semi-modular, so you might have a couple extra cables, but overall, you're going to use most of the cables that come in this power supply out of the box. And for those cables that not everybody uses, and the fact most people don't use them, you don't have to put them in your system, allowing you to keep your cable management pretty clean while still being able to save some money. So what's the final price on this build? Well, it comes in at $997.80, including tax. There are some mail-in rebates and things like that going on right now that could actually knock this build down to $960. So awesome build for an incredible price that's going to kill any and all modern games. If you enjoyed this AMD build, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content like this every single day of the week. My name is Nick, this has been The Breakdown, and I am out, guys. Peace.